'Cause I know we can make it. Yes, we can make it if we try. Keep on trying.
Hey beautiful, welcome to Dr. Sarah's Café. This is your Tuesday tarot reading where I unpack the flavor of the week, which I introduce in the weekly refill. So if you haven't seen the weekly refill, you might want to check that out. However, this could still resonate even if you haven't seen that video yet. And the flavor of the week was tender wholeness. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards from the Golden Black Cat Tarot deck and maybe some clarifiers as well to unpack the idea, the concept, the energy of tender wholeness. This is a general collective reading, so if you're drawn to watch this video, then my intention is that there's something here for you. But because it is general, not everything will resonate, and that's okay. Also, it's a timeless reading, so even if you're not watching it on the week that I post it, if the message resonates, then it's meant for you at that time. All right, so I'm going to shuffle a little bit. I've already shuffled and prepped the cards before the video. I'm going to do a little more while we're here together. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle and see what falls out, right, as it pertains to the energy of tender wholeness. What additional insights do we have for the flavor of tender wholeness this week or in the time beyond? Also keep in mind that these energies could play out for longer than a week. Whatever messages come through could unfold for weeks, months, and sometimes years ahead. Tender wholeness. All right. First card out is King of Pentacles, Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. This is a very interesting King of Pentacles. Again, the Golden Black Cat Tarot, King of Pentacles. Usually the King of Pentacles is sitting alone on a throne. Most of the court cards in a traditional tarot deck are sitting alone on a throne. This one is different because we see the community around this King of Pentacles. And so we see the community of people approaching him as well as his court, like the people who work with him or for him. And he's sitting there on this throne. And to me, that speaks of your own sense of sovereignty in community, right? The King of Pentacles would be a noble leader. He would definitely be a noble leader. And it's someone, if it's an actual person in your life, they could be an earth sign, masculine person or earth sign leader. So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, who is very grounded, very reliable, very good at managing the material resources and the business, and sort of like the rock of the family or the rock of the community, or that like solid foundation that people can rely on in the business or at work. Now, if it's not a specific person, then think about that energy in your life, right? Where does that energy come from? Are you that person in your community? So this could definitely be you. And then for others of you, this is someone that you're connected to. They might have a message here with this Knight of Swords, but I'm going to clarify that. What else wants to come through with the message of tender wholeness in this week ahead? Also, the King of Pentacles is unmistaken about his sense of worthiness. The King of Pentacles does not struggle with self-worth. The King of Pentacles is someone who knows their value and is unapologetic, unashamed to state what their value is. I guess that's just a simple way to put it, right? Like they know what they're worth. They're willing to charge what they're worth. They don't feel imposter syndrome because they know what they've done. Their track record of success and accomplishment speaks for itself. All those things. And so you could be calling in this energy, right? With tender wholeness is learning how to sit in your seat of power, authority, sovereignty without the drain or the depletion of self-doubt or self-criticism or imposter syndrome or low self-esteem, right? Okay, what else wants to come through regarding tender wholeness and this week's message for the collective of lovely, beautiful souls who are watching? Thank you to everyone who watches, everyone who subscribes, everyone who hits the like button, and everyone who comments. I see you. I appreciate you so much. The 10 of Wands came up in last week's video as well. We have the 9 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So we have the 9 to the 10. So this means you are nearing the end of a very difficult cycle. The end of a tough cycle approaches. The 9 is that perseverance and that persistence. And then we have the Knight of Wands as well. So a lot of wand energy. The Pentacles is earth, Wands is fire. There's a journey that you've been on, that you've been taking, and you're ready to complete that journey. You're ready to complete it. It has been difficult. You've taken some hits. You've endured, you've persevered struggles, the gauntlet, the obstacle course that you've endured, and you're ready to now lay those burdens down. I want more. I'm going to get more detail about maybe what that was, but also how it's ending, how it's coming to a completion. What else can you tell us about tender wholeness for this week? For the week of November 11th. And beyond. Okay, I'll take the first one that came out. These will go back in. Ooh, okay. So we have the World at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Wands. So this is definitely an ending and completion. Remember I said the 10 of Wands. You're nearing the end of a journey, and it was a journey that had a lot of struggles, strife, trials involved. Again, hurdles you might have had to jump over. The World is confirming the completion, but this Ace of Wands is also hinting at the new beginning. And we still have the Knight of Wands here at the bottom as well. So this King of Pentacles, it could be you or someone else, is at the threshold of a new chapter, closing out one and starting a new one, because we have the 10 of Wands, which implies the Ace of Wands. So we go the 10, the 1, 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1, right? So the cycle starts over, the cycle starts fresh, the cycle starts brand new. Now, the World at the bottom of the deck is Saturn as well. And so this has matured you. This has leveled you up in some way. It was difficult. It required a lot of perseverance. But through it, you advance. You're now at a higher capacity, a higher level of wisdom and insight and knowledge and skill. And so you're starting a new thing, a new cycle. What I get is that it's not that far off from the other thing, right? Because we have the Knight of Wands, but there's like a new way that you're doing it. So maybe you're in the same field or the same industry, but you're going from like one approach to a different lane within that level of expertise. The card that came out was the 7 of Swords. I'm looking at this cat that has a little cloak and a hood in it, and the footprints there. Those little cat eyes inside. It's very mysterious. Let me show it to you. It's almost like a humorous depiction, right? Like the Pink Panther is coming through here, the TV show The Pink Panther, where it's very mysterious but also funny at the same time. It's like da-da, 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 da-da. The Seven of Swords, I want to clarify because I'm getting mainly that this is your energy. I'm not getting that you were deceived by someone else. I'm not getting that there's someone else around you. So this will almost be like quiet quitting. Quiet quitting. Like knowing that you're sending out your resume and taking job interviews, but you're not telling your current employer, you're not telling anyone at your current job that you're on the market for another job. It's also like your strategy. So you are even thinking about like escaping a toxic living situation where you pack a little bit at a time. You gradually take your possessions and put them in a safe house or put them in storage, and you move money from one account into your own separate private account a little bit at a time, so that the person or the environment that you're removing yourself from doesn't pick up on your scent. Right? I'm getting that someone's trying to throw someone else off their scent. There could be someone who wants you to stay in the old thing, and you're being very strategic and street smart about how you get out of that old thing without like alerting them to the fact that you're about to leave. Okay, let's get one more. I feel like that's the one more. It just stayed on the table when I picked up the deck. And it is the Ten of Swords. And then we did have that one fall out, which is the Star. Okay, so we have 5 cards out. The Ten of Swords. We do have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. I'll get to that. So this is the ending. You have 2 tens. 2 tens represent a change for sure. But we already knew that, right? Like, it's pretty evident. So tens themselves means ending and completions, but 2 tens emphasizes the aspect of change. I will say that the 10 of Swords and the 7 of Swords means there's a 3 of Swords at play in this situation, which is heartbreak, betrayal, denial. So this could have been a very deceptive, heartbreaking situation. And it makes sense because the flavor of the week is tender wholeness. For some of you with this Lovers card at the bottom of the deck, we also have the King of Wands beneath that. For some of you, this is pertaining to relationships. So there was your need to be tender with yourself and to remember your self-worth, remember your value, take care of your self-esteem this week, because there could have been a heartbreak. There could have been some kind of deception in a relationship, whether that's romantic, platonic, even professional, right? Even realizing that your coworker was stealing your paper clips while you were on vacation. So it could be different realms of your life, but there was definitely something disappointing at the very least, and in some cases downright heartbreaking and painful. Because that 10 of Wands is an ending, right? It means that something is ending and therefore changing and starting anew, but it comes with a painful realization, a painful awareness of something, because the swords are our thoughts and our communication. So there could be like you mentally processing a heartbreak or a pain or a betrayal or a loss. But it ends with the Star. The Star also was present last week. So this month, November, is filled with positive star energy, hope, and healing. Healing is most definitely coming through with the Star in this context. Healing from that heartbreak, those past wounds, that past deception. Yeah. Even if you have to disappoint someone else in order to do what's best for you, That could also be a situation for some of you with this 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Yeah, the other person might want you to stay. And so you deciding to leave because it's part of your destiny, it's part of what you desire, it fulfills your purpose, might break their heart, might disappoint them. So you'll discern for yourself what side of that story you might be on. And for some of you, it could even be both of you deciding to part ways. And yeah, it's painful, it's sad, because this was meant something for the time that it existed, but it's a recognition in this moment that it's no longer serving our higher good, our ultimate purpose and destiny, and to stay in the situation for either party would limit our potential for growth and advancement and becoming the next version that we're meant to become of ourselves. The Lovers also implies choice and alignment. So this is ending because it was out of alignment, because it wasn't the healthiest choice for you. So keep that in mind as well. All right, let's do some clarification. And then World card again. I am getting hungry, so I will eat something and then get back to the last reading of the day. All right, let's start with this King of Pentacles. I'm really curious about the role he's playing here. What can you tell us about this King of Pentacles? What additional details can you give us regarding this King of Pentacles? Here, in the flavor of tender wholeness. Three of Cups. So this is definitely about the community aspect. This is about friends, groups, associations, your interactions with them, their interactions with you. I feel like the Three of Cups has come out a lot for these Tuesday tarot readings. So big relationship stuff happening. We're in Libra season, recently in Libra season, coming out of Libra season. We had that Libra eclipse, so that could still be unfolding. Like the energy from that could play out for as much as 6 months, depending on how strongly it's impacting your chart. Yeah, so we have the Queen of Swords bottom of the deck. Someone is recognizing their role in a social context. Someone is becoming clear about where they stand with their friends, their family, their groups, associations, and just understanding like who's really with you, who's really on your team, who's really willing to have a mutually beneficial connection. And it feels like it's more than one person, right? So not just like a one-to-one relationship, but like your relationships overall. And some of them are ending. Well, let's get to that. Let's look at this Ten of Wands. What more can you tell us about this Ten of Wands? There's the Knight of Swords, which was at the bottom of the deck to begin with. So the Knight of Swords could definitely be a change in your physical environment as well. So some of you, your social network, your community is changing because you're physically moving, or you're changing your local environment in some way. So that seems like it's going to be good. And so I'm wondering if like that is it goes back to that Seven of Swords where I mentioned if you're leaving a situation. Some of you, it's like leaving a physical situation, like actually moving out of an apartment, leaving, closing down from one location to go to another that is happier, healthier, more life-affirming. Okay. The Knight of Swords can also be the conversation about it. And the Knight of Swords is usually a very abrasive conversation. It's almost like you've been doing this planning and prepping and you've seen this end coming, but like the conversation, when it's announced, feels sudden and abrasive and just very straightforward. Seven of Swords, please tell us more about that. Knight of Pentacles. This is something that has been in the works for a long time. It is also a card of travel and movement. So definitely for some of you, this involves like your strategy to move, to change locations, to be in a different physical space, to be in a different job, different home, different city, neighborhood. The Knight of Pentacles suggests that it was a slow strategy. Someone was playing the long game. You likely, I don't know why I keep getting that it's you, who's been playing the long game and sort of biding your time and moving chess pieces like slowly but surely, in ways that are sort of subtle over time. So you've been knowing for a long time, and you've been making steps towards this for a long time, but it comes off as sudden and abrasive and maybe jarring to other people when they have the realization or the revelation. And as I say revelation, Judgment is at the bottom of the deck. So this is that final judgment call. And Judgment in particular is like you awakening to what can no longer exist. You awakening to the fact that you can no longer stay the same because you are now different. You can't stay the same even if you wanted to. Let's look at this Ten of Swords, please. Okay, I'll take all 5 for the Ten of Swords. And we have the Eight of Cups, bottom of the deck. So confirming the moving, the leaving behind, the release, the letting go, putting it behind you, and stepping off, heading off into a new direction, a new place, a new location. Now, I almost put it back because it's a lot, but I think it just feels right for this Ten of Swords because the Death was at the top. That's the ending. That's the ending that we've been talking about this whole time. But this is an ending that with this major arcana is also supported and facilitated by larger forces other than just yourself. So you've been doing a lot of the groundwork, a lot of the legwork, and then it's almost like the cosmos comes in and says, and we'll help you put a bow on it. We'll help you, put the finishing touches on it to like really clear this out. Like done, dead, fini. High Priestess is the secrecy. That Seven of Swords, secret. This is the secret coming to light, the secret being revealed. So now everyone knows this is what happened. This is why I'm leaving. I am leaving. I've been planning to leave for a long time. I'm doing it. It's like people might be a bit surprised that they're just finding something out that has been so well thought out. And we also have the King of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Five of Swords. So this could be the other person in the situation. The King of Pentacles, King of Swords, that Eight of Wands, Five of Swords is sort of the argument, right? That tense conversation, the need to say like, yeah, I know I'm leaving sooner than I said I would, but this is necessary. This is needed for me. I'm choosing to be selfish in this moment, or selfish, right? Not really selfish, but I'm choosing to put myself first in this instance. Not to cause harm to anyone else, but to take back my own dignity, to take back my own self-respect, to take back, control over my own life. And that brings this Ten of Swords ending. So yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be a comfortable conversation. It's not going to be a comfortable process, but you can mitigate it by being honest. And it looks like you've already prepared. You've already been prepared to So when this conversation finally comes, it's not going to be it's not going to be like the happiest, easiest conversation, but you get the outcome from the conversation that's needed. So the conversation is needed. And when you have the conversation, even though it is uncomfortable, the result that you want is what matters on the other side of that conversation. All right. And then lastly, let's look at the star. The star. So we get through this gauntlet, and I feel it in my body. Like, yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And whoever this is for, you are good and ready to go. All right. Let's look at the star. This is the hope and the healing after all of it. We do have Scorpio and Aquarius and Gemini on the board. Scorpio, Aquarius, and Gemini. Most prominently. There are other energies as well, but those are the most potent, or like the strongest signature. Tell me about the star. Wheel of Fortune. So now we have 3 10s. 3 10s on the board represent a new matter. So it's not just change, as in an ending, but this third 10 also means that something new is coming in. So it's not just that you're stopping one thing, you're also starting something else. And that's not always the case. Sometimes you can stop something and just keep everything as is, right? So let's say you have 5 pigs and you sell 1 pig and you just have the 4 pigs. I don't know why I'm using pigs as an example, but another way to think about it is that you have 5 pigs, you sell 1 pig, which is like the ending, but then you also buy a new horse, right? So just an ending by itself means you have less than what you had. But this new matter says that you have less of that old thing, but you take in something completely different, like something new that had not been before. So I hope that pig analogy makes sense. So it's not just like, oh, I'm getting rid of my old clothes and I'm just going to keep my existing wardrobe. I'm going to get rid of what doesn't fit and just keep what I currently have that does fit. This is, I'm going to get rid of what doesn't fit and I'm going to go shopping for a whole new style of clothing. That's the vibe that comes through with this star and the Wheel of Fortune. So you're going to get a new experience that you haven't had before. So yes, this thing is ending, but there's also going to be a new, never before experience that you're going to now be introduced to or focused on, and you might not even be aware of it in the moment. The downward thumb. You might not be aware of it in the moment of like what the new thing is. So right now you might be focused on the ending. You might have a sense of like what you want to happen, but the Wheel of Fortune and the star makes me feel like there's something coming. There's something on its way that you had not planned for, that you do not expect, that is new to you. It could be a new person, a new situation, like a new opportunity that you hadn't planned for, but that kind of comes around serendipitously. And it's almost like energetically, it's able to now find you and navigate its way into your life and align with your timeline because you've ended this other thing. So like you're ending this thing because you don't want it anymore, and you don't even realize like what that is now allowing for, to what else that allows to come into your life next. All right. So I hope that this has in some way helped you to refill your spiritual cup. Be sure to watch the weekly refill if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in another video. Take care.
I know we can make it. Yes, we can make it if we keep on trying.